Growing up in Australia is a pretty bloody good life. Cheese TV while putting your uniform on in the morning, roll-ups for play lunch, Harold the Giraffe incursions, or having a Yu-Gi-Oh battle with your best mate. Unfortunately, most of what comes out of Australian school at the moment seems to be completely social. The only thing that people miss after they finish school are lunchtime hangouts with their mates, or how easy it was to make that one teacher cry. Sorry, Miss Sullivan. Choose what you want to do for the rest of your life, they reckon, at 16 years of age. But if you need to take a shit, make sure you raise your hand and ask for permission first. The beef that I have with Aussie schools is the inability to coexist in an environment as an individual while being talked down to by the teachers like you're a child or completely inhuman. Don't get me wrong, we all knew that one rude, disrespectful, buck-teeth, inbred-looking piece of shit that dropped out in year 9 because his destiny was somewhere in a CBD gutter. I'm talking about being given the lack of freedom to learn how to learn. The fact is that there is more inspiration about growing as a person coming from the likes of Gary Vee or Jordan Peterson on online media platforms.
You need to care about what you want to need. You can't worry about what I'm saying. You can't worry about whoever your flavor of the month is, right? Maybe I'm your flavor of the month right now. Maybe your consistent flavor of the life is your mom's point of view, is your older brother who's guided you with good wisdom but wants you to be a lawyer, but you don't want to be a lawyer, you want to be a street artist.
Who are you, useless, powerless you, with all your damn faults? You're actually worth something.
In March 2018, the Australian government released a document called Through Growth to Achievement. It's a report of the review to achieve educational excellence in Australian schools. Sounds fantastic, doesn't it? Well, let's take a look. Finding 5. Reporting against year-level achievement standards hides both progress and attainment for some students, and does not amount to a diagnostic assessment of real learning needs, which, if met, would lead to growth in learning. It clearly outlines in the report, achievement in learning is a key indicator of student and system performance. However, current assessment and reporting models assess, judge and grade student performance against year-level achievement standards using A/E reporting, which only reveal in very general terms a student's absolute learning outcomes. They do not show the extent of a student's learning growth. This can lead to a situation where a student who receives a D after a year is perceived as making no progress at all, when in reality a student might be making as much annual improvement as a student who consistently receives an A. Of course, the next logical step is diversity. Introducing learning progressions will support teachers to cater for diverse levels of achievement in their classroom. Now this is a great idea. Diversifying the classrooms to the learning needs of every individual student sounds really important. But the problem is that the reason we use A+, B+, C+, D+, is to standardize our students to where they're supposed to be. In fact, the entire reason of school is to standardize the knowledge, the intellectual learning of young people. So the whole finding in this report is to say that the entire system needs to be diversified to individuals because it doesn't work, whilst not actually knowing if the diversification will solve the issue. Finding 8. Research and experience internationally confirms that ongoing professional development for teachers, some mandated by the school or system and some through participation in professional learning outcomes, is an essential part of a teacher's workload in high-performing education systems. Finding 8 says we should keep the knowledge of our teachers current. No shit. Every other profession in the world, you have to keep learning. Why is this a different expectation for teachers in Australia? It should have already been an expectation. The fact that the government has to spend money on making a report that tells me that teachers have to keep learning and keep progressing as individuals to become smarter and teach our younger generations to become smarter bothers me. It bothers me a lot. If I had have guessed off the top of my head, I would have said 25% of the people who enrolled into university didn't finish a degree. Seems like Australia is unjust in keeping our society academically inclined. What it doesn't tell you is how many of these people are happy and found what they love doing. Their job doesn't require an academic degree. If you love dogs and want to work at an animal shelter and help animals, do it. If you want to be a mother and you have the opportunity to be a mother, do it. Become successful at the thing that you want in life. We all have our calling. School, VCE, HSC does not define your calling. In fact, it's the shortest part of your life. If you want to be a doctor or a lawyer, or something highly skilled, a university degree is obviously your goal. The point of me telling you this is don't live the next 3, 5, 10, or 25 years on the expectations that your parents or teachers have for you. Create your own expectations. Even if that makes the ones you already have greater. If the next 3 years of your life is working on a farm, shoveling cow shit so that you can travel the world for a year, then do it. Real life is nothing like school. Americans say, stop listening to the haters, and that's a shit way of summing this all up, but it's pretty much what I'm getting at. In my personal experience, I knew a lot of kids who worked really hard in school so they could do science at university. After 3 years of completion, most of them work jobs and have nothing to do with the degree, because it doesn't get you anything more than the opportunity to keep studying. You can be smart as fuck and make stupid as fuck decisions. I needed a degree for my dream job. Do you? I got 10 points below my ATAR score. Somehow got taken up by a university, and after a year, transferred to another one, where the standards were higher, and I was 20 points below the clearly in ATAR, and graduated recently. Don't stress. Do your best, and if it doesn't work out, you'll work it out. You have plenty of time.